I'm going to put you on the spot then, Phil. Who do you fancy?
Well, I mean, logic dictates that Selby should be considered favourite, but the way he won that last frame, I would not discount Zhou in the slightest.
No, he looks pretty cool, doesn't he?
One frame to decide who meets Martin Gould in the last 16.
Little wide. Worth having a go though, because he was bound to be on the black. Not left anything. Okay, he caught the yellow, but no damage done.
A lot of players will be watching this with a lot of interest.
Yeah, certainly will be.
Especially those in the top half of the draw where Selby is located.
Well, keep saying it. If you catch the bolt colours on the way back, there's always a possibility of leaving a pot on, which is exactly what Mark's done. Not one of his best safety shots. Zhou here can stun around the back of the black. He's just asking, well, is there somebody moving about in his line? Our referee Deng Jihao just asking whoever it is just to keep still while the players are playing the shot. Well, look at that. Fergal O'Brien has come through 5-2 then against Kurt Mafflin. I thought that was going 4-3. But Fergal's dished up there in the 7th for the victory. And Zhou knocks in a good red. Fergal O'Brien will play the winner of this evening's match between Alan McManus and Ding Junhui. Fergal was a few points behind in that last frame as well, at 7th. But it's this young man who's put the first point on the board in this decider. Now the yellow is a better angle.
3. Four.
No previous meetings between these two, but this would be some scalp to take out the world champion and the world number 1. Got to be careful here though. He's going into the pack. He could just slide off them for the black. Make sure of the pot. What's the worst thing you can do? Take your eye off the pot. Nicely done.
Go.
What's he done there? Well, I don't understand why he didn't just drop that in for the red to the right corner pocket. He's had a brain freeze. There's no doubt Mark will be happy with that result. Well, now he's contemplating a really difficult plant to the middle. But that was a poor positional shot from the black Phil. Very surprised he didn't try and play on the loose red to the opposite corner.
Players always say, when it gets down to a decider, all I want is a chance. And when you have one, especially against someone of the calibre of Selby, it pays to take full advantage.
Well, coming up to 2 minutes thinking time. Understandable. He's still thinking about the plant. Unlucky. But the
Zhou Yuelong 19.
The shot on the black was poor. Anything can happen though when the pressure is on. No, I just wonder whether Mark might play the pot here, or will he play the safety up and down? He would leave a possible red to nothing. I think he's going to have a go at this. Well, again, people just moving in the line of the shot. Zhou had to back away from one a couple of minutes ago. I think Mark's definitely having a go at this because the cue ball on the right hand side, he won't leave anything on. Only the red is taken. Well, Matt Selby not happy, especially with people that are moving about in the line of the shot. They must sit still when the players are down on the shot.
Yes, it's nothing partisan, of course. As you say, they were moving around when Zhou Yuelong was playing his shot as well, but It really is annoying.
Well, it's the final frame as well of a match that they've given everything to, and they've just a couple of ladies there. Deng Junhao was just asking. I think he said to them, "If you don't stop moving about, you'll have to move at the back or go out." One of the best lines I ever heard was Jan Verhaas at the Masters, Wembley Conference Centre, Phil, when he said the phone went off, this bloke's phone. And he said, well, if that phone goes off again, tell them that you're on your way home. Quite right, too.
This year's World Championship, despite repeated requests from the MC, Rob Walker, so many phones went off, it was ridiculous.
Well, it was. It really was ridiculous. I just don't understand where some people come from at times. Unfortunately, we're in a world now, Phil, that people live in their own little bubbles, don't they? Now, I wonder if he's left this red through the gap, the one that's nearest the left corner. If he has, there's no doubt Mark will be taking this on because he doesn't back away from these. Just weighing up the percentages. He's looking to see what he might leave if he misses, but he will be taking this on. It's a chance to get in. Oh, was it ever in doubt? He's just lost the cue ball a little bit there, though.
你们赶紧坐下好不好？决胜局了，不要在这里交流，要么工作，要么就离开，好吧？
Further admonishments from the referee there for the crowd. Let's hope Selby's not distracted and misses this.
Eight.
He's missed that one. After that difficult black, would you believe it? Well, I just wonder, having missed that red, whether we were seeing the world champion and world #1 going out here, because he had the chance to kill off the match in the last frame, previous frame. He missed the brown. It was a tremendous clearance till that point. Well, this will be some victory for this young man if he can win here. But as I've already mentioned, Phil, he looks pretty cool.
Coming off a pretty solid season.
7.
Zhou, he's up to 31 in the world rankings, which is a personal best. And he's beaten some notable players in his brief professional career, but this would be undoubtedly the most notable scalp.
8.
Last season beat the likes of Jimmy White, Matthew Stevens, Yan Bingtao. Got to the quarterfinals of the Welsh Open. And also qualified for the Crucible, but to beat Selby here on home turf, that would be a real feather in the cap.
Well, he's building a nice CV, isn't he? And this would be a great addition. He has the chance. Well, lost the white there a little bit. Definitely played on the blue. He still has the blue to the corner. It depends on the angle on this blue, or even the green actually. The green is guaranteed. The blue, well, there could be a little bit more pressure on that one. Well, that is just pure pressure.
19.
He's been a little bit fortunate that that red has gone nearly tight to the cushion. I still think Mark will play it though, and come around the back of the black. Happy to have another chance, I'm sure.
This is tricky. Yeah, not surprised. One of those reds that, although it was in close proximity to the pocket because it was so close to the side cushion, that needed to be so accurate.
Especially dead weight, playing it that way. I thought he might have played it around the back of the black. Well, now this is really interesting. Is the world champion, world number 1, on his way out here. He had a chance to win the match in the last frame, but he missed that brown. Wasn't easy. Normally we see him come through those sort of tests. That red there wasn't easy. I'll say Zhou was a little bit lucky to see the red go tighter to the cushion, but I still thought he might have played around the back of the black and played that with more pace. Giving the red a chance to come away from the pocket. You can do nothing about it now but sit in that chair and hope that he gets another chance. Well, this is all about the young man just holding himself together now. Played that well. 46 the lead. Red and black will make it 54. Then he'll need a cannon. So there's the match time, just coming up to 4 hours. So it's not about this red or the black, it's about the cannon into the red, which will be the big shot. Well, here we go, Phil. If he gets this one right, the world number 1 is out. Well, I don't understand why he didn't go in with a little bit more pace.
24.
I'm not sure whether he's on anything here. The red is on near the pink, but can he see enough of it to play it to the middle? It's not ideal. Cannot believe he hasn't gone in there with a little bit more pace. Probably just trying to play a little bit, be a little bit too cute. Well, obviously the red is on, but you know, if he misses it, he's leaving everything for Mark. He's looking at the angle. Got the angel on one shoulder, Phil, and the devil on the other.
Such a big moment for him, such a big decision.
Well, it goes, it definitely goes, but he knows he's scattering everything else. Doesn't really want to take the red off the top cushion either, but he could lay in behind the black here. Playing the safety. Well, Mark Selby, delighted to see that, especially now. What has he done? And now he'll be thinking, why didn't I take the red on? Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Overrun that slightly. He's going to have to play the cannon to hold the cue ball. Still pressure on these.
And if it gets that far, the snooker gods have decreed that Selby might have to pot a not dissimilar brown to the one he missed in the previous frame.
Stop it.
Similar shot, same pocket. I said if it gets that far, of course.
$16. $17.
Let's not forget as well, Phil, that normally we say yes, frame and match over, but he's had a couple of months off, hasn't he? He's been out of, you know, under the cosh, shall we say. Normally you would clear these, but in this first couple of matches he has looked a little bit ring rusty. I'm not saying you won't clear here.
24.
He's going to have to play the cannon now. Quarter ball on the red, push it to the corner would be perfect. Ah.
What?
Well, he's got himself back into the frame. 23 behind, 35 on, and that's a good safety. He's applying the pressure. Not bad. Well, the problem Mark's got here, if he throws the cue ball around the table, he could easily hit the black. It's a tough red to take on. Can't see him playing the pot, but he's got to be careful where the red goes around the table here. Which way will he go? Tell you what about this one? Phil. I know he's got the cannon into the black, but that has helped.
Could be a tie turner, that. Very shrewd when it comes to angles and playing shots of that nature.
It's one of those situations, isn't it, that if Mark wins here, he'll probably finish up winning the tournament. Because in some ways he's thinking, well, he won't be thinking that I was possibly out, but others might have been thinking that. Can he get this safe? Oh, is this going to be a free ball? This could be a free ball. Well, he's put it back in the same spot. I don't think Tenchi has to move the white, actually. It's in a worse position, actually, but he'll probably just let him play it again. The miss has been called. The option for Mark is to play the pink as the red and come back for the black, with safety in mind. If it had been a little bit straight on the pink, he definitely would have been playing that.
I think what he's mulling is whether to ask him to play again from there or have the cue ball put back. It's either one or the other for me.
Yeah, there wasn't much difference, was there? From there, yeah, he said from there, please. Well, that was even worse. Well, I just wonder, I'm not sure whether it'll be going back this time.
There's about as much chance of that going back as Selby walking back home to Leicester should he lose.
Overdone it slightly on the blue. Might take two yellows here. It's also looking at the pink. You could do with the yellow back on its own spot. He's looking at the blue here, but he needs to leave himself probably pretty much where he is with the cue ball now, for a good angle on the yellow to get to the green. Yeah, he doesn't want to leave the yellow straight. Well, to be honest, it wasn't that difficult to hit that red, but he didn't play it very well. Straight back for the green then. No, he doesn't want to land straight on the green, and that looks an absolute perfect angle to stun over for the brown. And again, doesn't want to be straight on the brown. It's brown to blue that's the problem. Well, this would be some escape, Phil, but how many times have we seen it over the years?
In the previous frame, he missed the brown to the near jaw.
Well, I say 3/4 through a season, this would be a formality, but he's been out of the game for a few weeks and it's early season for him. Oh. Wow, that is
Last
unbelievable.
shot, 11.
He overcompensated from the previous frame, no doubt in my mind. That's why he's smiling. What happened in frame 8 was on his mind there.
Well, the only reason I said what I said, Phil, because he's not been in the cauldron for a few months, has he? You know, it's an early season for Mark. If it had been 3/4 way through the season and mentally tight, then I don't think that would have been a problem.
So Zhou pots the brown. Still work to do, still nerves jangling.
Nice.
Tantalisingly 13 ahead, 13 on. The pink still needed.
For a great victory.
Mark Selby will have nightmares about not one but 2 browns. He could have won 5-3, but he missed the brown. He could have won the decider, but again he missed the brown. And the world number 1 and world champion is out of the China Championship, beaten 5-4 by Zhou Yuelong. Well, if you've been with us from the start, I'm sure you'll agree that completes a fascinating session here. We saw Ronnie Sullivan have a late wobble but survive that to win. But Mark Selby is out, and that was the cause. The brown that went astray. 2 browns, same pocket, same result. Selby can't quite believe it. A player of his stature, you don't expect it once, let alone twice. And the major beneficiary is Zhou Yuelong. Well, well, well.